Well, hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to read 3 poems. And in these poems, the poet talks about one thing as though they're talking about something else. So let's look at our first poem. It's called Clouds by Christina G. Rossetti. White sheep on a blue hill. When the wind stops, you all stand still. When the wind blows, you walk away slow. White sheep, where do you go? Is this poem about clouds or about sheep? Well, for one thing, the title says clouds, so it probably is about clouds, huh? It seems like the poet is comparing sheep to clouds. Wow. Yes, so this is about clouds. Let's look at our second poem. Our second poem is called Rain Poem by Elizabeth Coatsworth. And before we read the poem, I have put 2 vocabulary words at the bottom so that you're able to understand the poem even better. One is pattered. It means to walk quietly or walked quietly. Sill is the shelf at the bottom of a window. A lot of times you say it's a windowsill. Okay. So once again, our second poem is called Rain Poem by Elizabeth Coatsworth. The rain was like a little mouse, quiet, small, and gray. It pattered all around the house and then it went away. It did not come, I understand, indoors at all, until it found an open window and left tracks across the sill. Is this poem about rain or about a mouse? For one thing, the first line says the rain was like a mouse. It was like a mouse. When you say something is like something else, it's called a simile. And that's figurative language. Figurative language actually is when we use a word or a phrase that does not have the same or the normal meaning it normally does. Okay? So sometimes some poets, they compare one thing to another. As in this poem, she's comparing a mouse to the rain. It's small, it's gray, it's patterned around the house. So that's what she's doing. So this poem is about rain. Let's look at our third poem. Our third poem is Buses by Maxine Kumin. And before we read the poem, once again, we have some vocabulary words. Cross means angry. If you say someone is cross, it means angry. It's kind of like an old English word. Hurly-burly means noisy confusion. And riverbanks, as you know, that's a lot of you probably would already know that it's the edges of a river. And flanks are the sides. So the poem is called Buses by Maxine Kumin. Fat and cross the city buses, sometimes late and sometimes early. Grunt like hippopotamuses in the traffic's hurly-burly. Huffy hippos, nose to tail, lined up on the river banks, blink along the narrow trail, nudging one another's flanks. Here in this poem, Buses, by Maxine Kumin, she's comparing the buses to hippos. And she's describing using descriptive words as fat and cross. And she's using words grunt like a hippo. She used the word like. So there's another simile as well. And so I want you to think about something that you could compare to something else. And I want you to write a poem about that today. I can't wait to read your poems.